Hello and welcome back, YouTubers. I am Protomario, and today we are reviewing NBA Jam on Fire Edition, available through the Xbox 360's Xbox Live Arcade Network and also the PlayStation 3 downloadable content network. So if you have PSN, if you have Xbox Live, you can get this game. Other than that, sorry, you're out of luck. This game was released on October 4th for the PlayStation Network and October 5th for Xbox Live. The game is a sequel to the reboot of NBA Jam by EA Sports and contains new elements such as online roster updates and enhanced AI. It is borrowed from EA's Fight Night boxing game, so it definitely has some updates. It does come with several members, and it plays just like NBA Jam. If you didn't have the privilege of growing up in the 90s and you don't know what the NBA Jam arcade cabinet is, or you never played it on PlayStation or anything like that, then you're really missing out, and this is a great way to get that experience again. However, this game does have some downfalls to it, and it does have some upsides to it. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. The upside is the rosters maintain currently and coming up more than 125 NBA superstars and nearly 50 NBA legends such as Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal. It also has a host of 27 mascots and several secret teams that will be involved in the future. There has been improved online experience. The AI is a bit better, but I don't think it's that good, just to be brutally honest. And the enhanced gameplay is a bit better also. You have a bit more control, tag mode, team fire, razzle dazzle, things like that that you remember from previous dates. There's a lot of people in this game. Dirk and Kid, Kid and Wade, the ankle breakers, mascots, razzle dazzle, Heat versus the Mavs. You know, there's a lot here for you if you're a basketball fan. But unfortunately, if you're not a basketball fan, the game is not going to appeal to you. And if you are a basketball fan, more than likely you probably have a basketball game in your collection that is about 10 times better than this game. So why would you get this game? That's a good question, and I don't know why you would get this game. If you have a basketball game in your collection and you play it on and off every so often, then there's really no point to get this game. If you're a devout basketball fan and you just love playing all kinds of basketball games, then perhaps this game would appeal to you. But I don't think it's a standalone. I don't think it carries enough power to stand alone in the release form that it's in right now. That's just my personal opinion, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, you might notice a couple things about it. Well, you don't get to play with full basketball team, but that's how NBA Jam has been, and this really isn't a problem. It's just you don't get the full experience of playing with the full basketball team. All while I'm playing through here, you can kind of see that I'm making some mistakes, and you might think, what am I doing? But truly, I'm not doing anything. The game's controls are a little bit flawed, and that is a bit of a game breaker for me. I absolutely hate the controls on this. Sometimes it does what I want it to do. Sometimes they go up for a layup and they actually sink the ball. Sometimes they just go up for a layup and then suddenly think, hey, why don't I just pass it to my teammate? I don't know why. After several games of this, I just don't understand why that kept happening over and over again. If you can get past this, if maybe I just had a flawed version or just something was up with my game, perhaps this game will appeal to you. But once again, if you already have a basketball collection, if you already have a vast library of basketball games like, Streets or several of the other games that are available out there, which are standalone releases for an extensively larger amount of money, you probably get a lot more gameplay out of them than you might get out of this. Of course, it can be fun to verse your friends, but you definitely don't have the kind of control and the deep physics and underlying effects that you would really want from a basketball game that are involved in this that you might get with a full retail release. So, on to the core review of this. Well, graphically speaking, I don't know about you, but I really don't like how they look. I don't like how the graphics are at all in this. It used to be cool for the time. It really did. It used to be cool for the time, but it's not anymore. It's not, okay? This looks like PlayStation, Sega CD garbage right now. The background just looks like crap. The fans look like crap. And though it might be a throwback and nostalgia, that's not what I'm looking for in my games nowadays. If I want a throwback and nostalgia, I can spend about $8 less on those games, play them for my PlayStation, play them for my Sega CD, and, you know, I don't have to spend that amount of money. So graphically speaking, I'm going to give this a D-. I think the graphics are absolutely terrible, and I think the Photoshop work on the faces of the people, of the players, kind of looks like crap too. This is just me being very blunt and brutal, and I wouldn't be this blunt and brutal if it just wasn't such a ridiculous look and appeal to it, but that's just how I feel about it. I don't like the graphics one bit. I think the court looks great, the basketball net looks great, and the basketball looks great. That's about it, guys. Everything else looks like garbage to me. Continuing on, sound, you don't really hear much. The announcers say, you know, you scored, you hear the dribble of the ball, you hear some squeaks, and that's about it. Other than that, you won't hear much, so I can't really complain about the sound. It's not misplaced, and the music sounds really great in the background. But as for sound effects, they're almost non-existent. Voice acting is almost non-existent, and the music is top-notch, spot on, and it's a throwback to the NBA Jam days. So they did a great job on the music. A+ for the music. Controls. Again, I'm gonna have to give it a pretty bad rating, a C-. I'm giving it a C-. That's me being generous. Half the time it worked the way I wanted it to, the other half of the time it didn't. I have no problem moving the players around the field. I have no problem shooting the ball. It's just I have a problem doing layups and actually sinking the ball in when I wanted them to, and I probably would have been way better off in most every game I played on here if I actually just knew why the ball wouldn't go in. But I didn't, and there wasn't really a tutorial or a training mode that was specifically there set to tell me how to do that. So under controls, I give it a C-. Other than that, everything else works decently. But what else is there? You move your player around and you shoot the ball. So shooting the ball is kind of a core asset. Overall gameplay. Even though this game does have an online roster and you can sign up for EA Sports stuff and all kinds of stuff like that, the real question is, do you really need that? Do you really want that? And do you want it from an arcade release, or would you rather have it from a retail standalone game that you could buy every year with much greater improved updates that come out yearly? That's between you and your wallet. If you think this game looks great and you don't have any other, like NBA Jams, if you have no other basketball game, then hey, why not? Give it a try. Downloading the trial version is 100% free. But as of now, personally, I can't get behind this game and recommend it to almost anyone. Even the die-hard basketball fans might be a little bit disappointed in how this looks, feels, and plays. That's my review, guys, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming.